let's talk about this book, Bone Hollow. Of course, I've got my ears on for the occasion because this is the book that features Gabe and his dog, Ollie. Now, Ollie the dog is only afraid of one thing, like I mentioned earlier, and that is thunderstorms. So, of course, this story starts out with a storm, and Gabe is having to climb onto Miss Cleo's roof. Miss Cleo is his guardian. He's having to climb up there to try and rescue her favorite prize chicken. Miss Cleo loves her chickens. Some people might say she loves those prize chickens way too much because she has sent Gabe up there in a storm, and little does she know, and little does Gabe know, that a tornado is about to strike. So Gabe is climbing on the roof trying to rescue this chicken when a tornado sweeps down and it knocks him and this iron weather vane right off the roof. He doesn't even remember landing. The next thing he knows, he wakes up in a room surrounded by all of his friends and neighbors, but it's almost like they can't hear him talking. And things start to get stranger. Gabe has glimpses of his beloved grandpa, his grandpa who passed away. He loses time. It's like he's blacking out. At some point, he wakes up on a cold metal table in a room he doesn't recognize. And when he goes outside, that place where he was, it turns out to be a funeral home. Even worse, when he goes home, nobody's there, and he can only find his friends and neighbors up at the church. They're all singing and holding candles and acting sad, and it ends up that he has shown up at his own candlelight vigil, except that, according to everyone in town, Gabe is supposed to be dead. But he doesn't feel dead. He feels fine, but everyone in town is so terrified of him, they chase him away from his candlelight vigil, and he is terrified of them, so he runs right into the woods, and thankfully he finds a new friend and kind of maybe a new home with this mysterious girl who lives all alone in the woods in a cottage surrounded by mist and clinking bone flutes and flickering candles. And everything is very mysterious, but she gives him a place to stay, and she gives him food, and she takes care of Ollie. So I guess everything's okay. But this girl is very mysterious, and she disappears for long periods of time, and he has no idea where she goes. And sometimes when he looks at her in the mist and the moonlight, it's almost like she's made of bone instead of flesh. So if you want to find out who this mysterious girl is, whether or not Gabe is really dead, and why this girl just so happened to be there at the exact moment when Gabe needed him. Was it a coincidence, or does she actually have secret plans for him? You can find out in Bone Hollow. It's a book full of mystery. So this was a really fun book to write, and I mentioned earlier that it's my only dog character, so I really loved writing Ollie the dog, who is just carefree and happy-go-lucky sort of dog. Very different from my real dog, but it was a super fun book to write for that reason. So I hope you'll check out Bone Hollow.